Hello, everyone. My name is Susan Bannon, and today I will be reading Panda and a Polar Bear by Matthew J. Bayek. In a place where spring met winter, there lived two kinds of bears. Where it was green and grassy lived the panda bears, and where it was white and wintry lived the polar bears. But in between loomed a tall, steep, and slippery cliff. And it was too tall for a panda bear to climb up and too tall for a polar bear to climb down, so the two never met. Until one curious polar bear became too curious. What was beyond his white and wintry world? He walked closer to the edge of the cliff and closer still, perhaps a little too close. Luckily, the polar bear landed in a patch of soft, squidgy mud. It was sticky, brown, and yick. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Something was coming, and the polar bear ran. But the cliff was too tall, too steep, and too slippery to climb up. Stomp, stomp, stomp. The polar bear covered his eyes and peeked from behind his muddy paws and saw a strange, splotchy bear staring at him. Are you new? Asked the strange splotchy bear. Do you want to play? Said the polar bear. The splotchy bear took this as a yes. In no time, the two were climbing trees, playing hide and seek, and playing follow the leader. Finally, they sat down for a snack. Yuck, thought the polar bear. This bamboo is too hard. He had a better idea. Let's fish, he said to his new splotchy friend. The polar bear looked in the water and gasped. Could it be? It wasn't the plain white anymore. He had turned into a splotchy bear. Splash! He swam and snatched a fish and proudly presented his catch. You're fading, the splotchy polar bear said. Where are your panda patches? Panda patches? The polar bear replied. Aren't you a panda bear? Asked the splotchy bear. No, he said quietly. I'm a polar bear. I'm all white, just like snow. He sighed. What terrifically splotchy panda bear would want to be friends with a white polar bear? But the panda's face brightened. I've never seen snow, he said. What's it like? So the polar bear explained all about snow. But the more he talked, the more he remembered, and the more he remembered, and the more he missed. Suddenly, the polar bear was homesick. I'll help you get home, said the panda bear. But the cliff, the polar bear replied. I'll think of something, said the panda bear. And so he thought and thought and thought until he couldn't think any more. Maybe we could just use bamboo, suggested the polar bear. My mother told me to never play with food, but I think it's okay just this one time, said the panda bear. Together they made a long ladder. Wow. When it was finished, the time had come for the panda bear to go. He looked at the panda bear. Would they still be friends after he left? The panda bear wanted to ask, but he wasn't sure how. Instead, he turned and slowly climbed up the ladder, and climbed and climbed and climbed. And the higher he went, the harder the wind blew. The ladder began to shake. And then it was suddenly still. The polar bear looked down, and then there was the panda bear holding on to the ladder with all of his might. Don't worry, called the panda bear. I've got you. In fact, they had each other and a lot more to discover. The end. Thank you very much.